Welcome, it's Brenda Lainof of BrendaLainof with one F.com, Facebook groups, Healing Healers Health and Business, and the other major one is Healing Healers Pathogenics. So welcome to this call today. I appreciate you popping in on live or replay. And today I'm interviewing Barry Lainof. So Barry Lainof, he's my husband. He also assists those persons who have been left behind and have been unsuccessful with past weight loss plans and fitness gurus. So welcome, Barry.
Hey, Brenda, thank you for having me.
So we're just going to start asking some questions. And the first one is your wellness niche. Who are your wellness niche? Who are these clients for your, for your weight loss program and fitness? So who are your wellness niche clients?
Yeah, good question. Seeing as how I gave it to you, that's a great question.
It is.
The people that I work with are people that have tried a lot of different programs. They haven't worked for them. I was one of those people that tried different programs, tried keto, tried Atkins, tried trying to be a vegan, trying to be just a vegetarian. So I did a whole bunch of different programs, the zone diet. And then I started having some health issues because I think if you start doing something that's too restrictive, you start running into situations where you're not really getting proper nutrition. So I went to the Mediterranean diet, which is just a basic diet. It's really started watching my caloric intake and my macronutrients. So what proteins I had, what carbohydrates and what fats, and found something that worked for me. And that took some time to kind of juggle it around. But I've gone from, I've lost just about 120 pounds from when I first started. And just today, you and I were talking about it earlier, Brenda, I was talking with my doctor, and he's never seen somebody take his blood sugar. Like, I'm diabetic, so I have to test my blood sugar with an A1C every 3 months. And he's never seen anybody go from 15 down to 5.8 in a period of less than a year. So, and he's kept track of my weight. He just can't believe the changes. My cholesterol, my good cholesterol, has gone up 40% since the last time I was tested. That was 3 months ago. So this has been a real good program for me. I know a good program for other people. You see it anecdotally on the internet. I know people that the Mediterranean diet works for them, but more importantly, it's measuring what you're doing, like constantly measuring, constantly setting goals, maintaining those goals for yourself, and meeting them on a weekly basis. And so the people I work with have been the people that have just been left behind. Oh, you'll never lose weight. These are the kind of things they hear. You'll never lose weight. And then if they start losing weight, then the people that they know start, oh, well, you're losing too fast. Or if you're losing too fast or you're not losing too fast, then it's, oh, well, you can't do it. Like, it's all this negative crap that people get.
Yeah.
Like, I just the other day I was talking with a buddy and I said, well, I'm trying to get down to 165, 185 today, this today. So I'm trying to get down to 165. Oh, and he said, oh, well, you'll never do that. And I just kind of go, I just lost 100 and some odd pounds. Why would I never be able to do that? Like, yeah. And so I go through, and my goal is to work with people that get told that they can't do something, but they can. I know they can, because I'm an example of what you can do.
Exactly.
And I have a bit of wrinkly skin, but I don't care about that.
So what is your wellness system based on?
Well, like I say, when it comes to the diet, it's mostly Mediterranean diet.
Okay.
I can go through it in detail, but most people know what the Mediterranean diet
Mhm.
is. But for me, what I do is I've tried to reduce my stress levels. I try to eat nutritionally better than I did before. And I try to move more. Like I walk an hour a day. I walk somebody's dog. I'm a dog walker. I get paid to walk somebody's dog. It's a standard poodle, and it's kind of a nutcase. But I walk that dog for an hour every day, so I get paid to do my exercise. I love it. And then I do isometric exercises. But what it's really based on is stressing less, eating better, and moving
Mhm.
more.
Mhm. Yeah, that stressing less is a huge one that we're all really dealing with. So much stress these days. Um, so yeah, it's the Mediterranean diet, and I am working hard to follow in Barry's footsteps as I've dropped a few pounds and be more eating more like what he's doing right now, because I do see his success. Now, you've asked you wanted me to ask this one question. So why is it important? Why is your most important body measurements the waist rather than the body weight? What is
Uh,
that all
you
about?
know, everybody talks about weight loss, and
Mhm.
everybody talks about, oh, well, I've lost so many pounds. Bottom line is, if you check your waist, that's where most of your fat would be stored. So
Mhm.
reduce your waist, you're reducing your fat stores. So if you look at it this way, there's a study in the UK that they say the healthiest people measure their height and then they measure their waist,
Mm.
and they're to get their waist half of their height in inches.
Oh.
So I'm 6 foot tall, so that's 72 inches.
Mhm.
So my waist should be a 36. And so my waist is, if you take a look at what I wear in my jeans, but my waist is a 36. I'm healthy now according to that measurement.
Oh,
But
wow.
if you look at what they call the golden ratio,
Mhm.
it should be 4.45% of what my height is. So I'm still trying to get my waist size down. But
Okay.
it's the same thing for anybody. I don't care if it's a man or a woman.
Mhm.
When when you measure your waist,
Yeah.
as you start seeing yourself reducing your fat, it might be the last part that really comes off, but
Yeah.
you'll start on. And if you take a look at what a lot of health issues are with diabetes, with high blood pressure, with different internal issues,
Mhm.
usually the visceral fat around your organs causes more damage
Yes.
than the subcutaneous fat around you, but you still need to lose as much fat as possible. And it's difficult. Hey,
Yeah.
this has taken me 2 years to drop this kind
Wow.
of, but it took a long time to kind of get myself
Mhm.
into the right pattern. And now it seems to be working a lot easier because I don't have as much fat on my body causing as much hormonal issues for my diabetes. I was just allowed to reduce my insulin level from 12 units down to 10.
And that
And
just
people
happened
and
today, right? That was just
that's
literally before this call today, which is so huge to be able to reduce your insulin levels. Like, it's awesome.
yeah, and then there's always going to be that people say, "Oh, well, you've got diabetes and so what, who cares if you lost weight and whatever, you still sick." And I kind of go, "You know what? I'm less sick than I was before. I have less chances of having problems going forward and I'm way
Mhm.
fucking healthier than I was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm on the right track. I think anybody that follows this type of system is on the right
Mhm.
track, healthier.
And what a great, like, honestly, like, I see a lot of people, and I'm on my way to losing weight. Like, I'm not one to talk, but I do see a lot of younger people, like in their 40s, 30s, with, putting on weight that I really feel the last number of years have done a real number on people. And I feel it's a
It really
combination of stress, of not getting the nutrients due to many environmental issues, factors. So there's all this combination, and the stress of just society is really
there's
affecting their weight.
especially for the younger people, not so much for older people, but younger people when it comes to the stress of the imposter syndrome,
What's
where
that?
they're not in the office, they're working from home. Well, they haven't had a lot of years of working in the so they're having to pretend sometimes, fake it till they make it. They're having to pretend sometimes to do stuff,
Mhm.
and they may not even know what they're doing. So the stress of being an imposter, the stress of financial stress of, a lot of these people had to take a reduced wage because they were working for home. A lot of people are worried about, being vaccinated or not being vaccinated, family members fighting amongst themselves about these issues.
Mhm.
All of that, younger people had a greater stress level on that.
Yeah,
And that's unfortunate.
yeah, it is. Yeah, so
You-
many factors.
They're all good questions. I gave them to you.
They're all what? Good questions. Okay, next question. And I think you already covered this, but do you suggest a specific diet for your clients?
Yeah, I already answered that.
You've already covered that, so we're good.
I be repetitive. I mean, there's one other thing that I do, and it's intermittent fasting. And
Yes.
I did for a year. I did 18-6, meaning
Yeah.
I didn't eat for 18 hours, and I feed for 6 hours, but I still kept my calorie count to a
Mhm.
certain level, and I kept my protein at a certain level. And I can go over that in more detail about
Right.
macronutrients and caloric deficit. But more importantly, I was doing 18-6. Now I've gone to 24, which means I eat one meal a day. And I find that easier for me. But I think I needed to do the 18-6 first before I went to the 24.
Yes, no, it's just not something that you just, oh, okay, I'm just going to eat one meal a day. Something that you gradually need to work towards. Well, and I know that I've been starting some of this intermittent fasting, and there's some days I'm just not feeling well, but for the most part, I'm sticking with it. I have noticed some weight loss, so it is an encouragement. And I'm thinking, it's just easier in my body. Like, we've been so conditioned to eat all the time, and we just look at the commercials, or I've been noticing more walking into grocery stores, the amount of candy everywhere is like it, and no wonder people are constantly confronted with all these temptations, and it's just bad.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, as being a diabetic, I've cut all added sugars out. You
Mhm.
can't cut every bit of sugar out because you go to a restaurant, they're going to throw sugar and stuff. Yeah, but as long as you kind of keep track of how you're eating and what you're eating, you can control a lot of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Next question.
Next question, and you may have covered this off too, but what physical activities do you suggest?
Okay. I will get into that in more detail because a lot of people start working out. Um, they start working out harder than they really should.
Hmm.
What I found was like I played football as a kid, played
Mhm.
baseball and basketball, and I used to work out an awful lot. And
Mhm.
so what I've tried to do is I went back to trying to work out like I used to, and then I'd do it for about 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, and then my body would break down because it's just I'm older. That's the
Yeah.
bottom line. I'm older.
Yeah.
So what I found was I do a lot of isometrics. So instead of doing weights like kettlebells or free weights or machine weights, I just at home I do some calisthenics and isometrics, and I walk. I don't run. I don't jog.
Yeah.
I walk, and I walk a day. I'll walk an hour, 5 times a day, and then, or sorry, 5 times a week, not a
Yeah.
day. I'd be in really good shape then. No, I walk 5 times a week for that hour, and then on the weekend, Brenda, you and I will go for a bit of a walk. And you still there? Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. We'll go for a bit of walk, but my walks during the week are for sure. I get an hour a day.
And I need to mention, this is a man with 2 hip replacements, and I've had a hip replacement. So yes, we can walk. I
And a
don't
reconstructed knee, and they told me
yes.
to have the back surgery, and I've got one toe's been amputated on my left foot, and I still walk an hour a day. So when people tell me they can't do something, I kind of go bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Bullshit. Now, the next question is, why do you focus on steady and sustained progress rather than too much too fast? And you may have already answered that
That's
one.
it. Yeah, that I think I did, but I really want to stress to people is, just be kind to yourself. Just, you know, if you've kind of gone through a day of maybe you had a candy bar and maybe you didn't exercise. Well, just don't go a second day where you've done that.
Yeah.
If you have one day that you kind of feel like, oh, I didn't follow my plan, well, you know what? You're just trying to be a better person. And when I mean a better person is meeting your own goals, not external goals, but just meeting your own goals.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think if there's some days like I never harass you about what you're eating or how you're eating. I just never would do that, and because I know it's not effective.
Oh.
I mean, I eat the best way I can, but there's just sometimes I need another tomato or I need another potato. But based on how my diet is for being a diabetic, I can't have a candy bar. I can't have a piece of cake, but I might eat more calories than I've got it on my list of things to
Yeah.
do that day.
Well, just based on literally talking to your GP and the results that you have achieved is very inspiring for anyone who's a diabetic, like honestly, like very, very inspiring. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I think and we've talked about this too, Brenda. They're saying that a large portion of the North American population is diabetic or pre-diabetic.
Mhm.
And so I think the more people that start looking at their life this way and eating this way and exercising this way and stressing less, the healthier the people are going to be.
Yeah.
And because believe me, full-blown diabetes is a scary proposition.
What you went through last year was very scary.
Yeah, it
And
was.
I'm just very, very scary with having your toe removed within minutes, literally within minutes.
Without being put under anesthesia.
Yes, and the PTSD, absolutely. I mean, we already have degrees of that. Most people do, whether they admit it or not, just with what's been happening with the world. So yeah, it's amazing results. So my next question would be, what success have you accomplished with following your wellness system? And again, maybe you've answered that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't want to go on and on because it sounds like I'm talking about me so much. I'm just talking about the system
Mhm.
of stressing less, eating better, moving more. I'm proof that it works. I have proof that I'm proof that it works.
Mhm.
And so when I want people to understand that there's tons of diets out there. It doesn't matter whether it's from a book or from the internet or from your doctor, whatever. The bottom line is you have to measure it, you have to follow up on it, and you have to be dedicated to yourself enough that you don't cheat yourself from being the best person and the best health that you can have. Because being unhealthy doesn't make you a happy person. That that chocolate or that bacon or that piece of bread, that might make you feel good at the time, but if your body reacts to it negatively,
Yeah.
that doesn't make you a happy person. I know that. I was unhappy and unhealthy, and now I will say I'm happier now. Not totally happy, but I'm happier now
Right.
because we all have challenges that we have to go through in our life.
And
But
also,
I am definitely healthier.
well, it's being true to yourself, and can take maybe decades or hopefully less. But what is it that you want? Creating that less stress and giving yourself permission to be healthy, to be more fit. So it's letting go and just being the best that we can be and not having to live up to some imaginary, this is how it should be, this is how your life should be.
Yeah.
That's
No,
a
I agree.
huge challenge. So what are your goals and your goal schedule?
Okay, well, my goal is to continue getting better and better health wise.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is to be more mindful of when stress starts overtaking my emotions. My goal is to follow this for the rest of my life. Those are my goals.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to exercise, when it comes to diet, when it comes to stress,
Mm-hmm.
everybody has different goals that they're going to want to follow. And for me, I know what my goals are, but that may not be the same goals for everybody else. A man is different than a woman when it comes to the physiology, but a man is no different than a woman, and a woman is no different than a man when it comes to wanting to be healthy, wanting to have less stress, wanting to exercise sustainably, not where you're lifting, heavy weights and running miles. I mean, some people might want that, but my body can't handle that. But
Yeah.
my body can sure as heck walk.
Yeah. We need to walk. Absolutely.
So I mean, if you take a look at the blue zone, which is where a lot of people have lived to 100, but not just
Mm.
survive to 100. I don't want to survive to 100. I want to live. I want to
Yes.
enjoy my life. I want to be able to think. I want to be able to
Mm-hmm.
walk. I want to be able to do things. And these blue zones, the people that are living in their hundreds, these people are part of a community.
Mm.
They have less stress than people
Mm.
in large cities,
Yeah.
and they eat better. They they walk constantly. They walk up
Mm.
hills. They walk down hills. They garden. They're active. That's my goal, and that's my schedule the rest of
I
my life.
I haven't heard about a blue zone. Where are these blue zones located? Like in different
I think,
countries or?
yeah, different countries. There's an island in Greece that I've been reading about recently.
Mm.
There's the Okinawans,
Yeah.
just off
Yes.
of Japan area there.
Yeah.
Um, there's people. I can't give you the exact ones. I should really know this, But there's like
Mm,
5 or 6 different places. There's an area in South America. There's another one in
mm,
Europe other than just Greece. And and people just seem to be healthier because they're eating better,
mhm.
and their whole community makes them not feel a burden, but feel
Yes.
inclusive.
And that is a whole subject in itself, is to ageism, and how as you get older you feel like you're starting to disappear. And I could certainly, that could be a huge topic for another day, as to ageism and the workforce, etc. So yeah, there's just so much. And now if people want to get in contact with you, so what is your best
Okay.
contact info, and just give what you want?
Okay. The best email to be in contact with me, it's the easiest way to
Mhm,
remember, is Barry Lainof, BarryLainof, at
mhm.
Barry Lainof, BarryLainof.com.
Mm,
Really simple.
yeah.
And anybody can contact me at that email.
Mhm,
And if they're listeners of your show,
mhm, mhm.
or anybody that checks up on it later on, they want to listen to this at another time, I will give a half hour of my time at no charge to go over specifics for them as to their
Mm,
macronutrients, as to their caloric deficit, as to what kind of diet they're on, what they might make adjustments to, what kind of exercise to start with. Because if somebody's, I mean, I was 100 and some odd pounds overweight. So for me, the best thing to do was to stand up off a chair. And that was my squats. And then I moved to wall sits. And then I started
mm,
using this TRX thing that you got me, which is a strap that attaches to the door, and using that to do squats, air squats. I
mhm.
mean, they're to do push-ups. Because I've had my shoulder replaced, I was unable to do push-ups. Now I can do 3 or 4 of them. I'm trying to get up to 40.
Mhm.
I mean, I may never do it, but that's
Yeah.
my goal that I'm
Mm,
trying to attain.
that's awesome.
So
Okay.
yeah, so it takes a while to, but I'll work with people to kind of find out what works best for them. And
Yeah.
like I say, that'll take about a half hour.
Okay.
And what I do more importantly is down the road, if they want to continue,
Mhm.
there's different plans that they can get onto, and we can discuss it at that time.
Right. Okay, awesome. I think what we're going to do here, I'm just going to stop this, and then I'm going to start up another Zoom, and we can start asking, questions or whatever, just start a new one. So I'm going to stop this recording. Thank you, Barry, and I'll have the Zoom link posted in the various groups, and you'll receive that. Stop for now. We're going to start a new one.